The 1969 Ford Mustang Boss 429, the NASCAR monster that had no business being street legal. Imagine walking into a Ford dealership in 1969 to buy a new Mustang. You've got your eye on the fastback, sleek, iconic, already a cultural phenomenon. Then the salesman points you to something in the corner. It looks like a Mustang, but it isn't quite right. The fenders have been cut open, the battery is in the trunk, and the price tag is nearly double what you expected. Welcome to the Boss 429, a car built not for the showroom floor, but for the high banks of Daytona. Today, that same car regularly sells for $500,000. This is the story of Ford's most extreme, most misunderstood pony car. The NASCAR loophole. NASCAR required manufacturers to produce at least 500 street-legal examples of any engine they wanted to race. Ford had developed a 429 cubic inch V8 with semi-hemispherical cylinder heads so aggressively ported it earned the nickname the shotgun engine. They wanted to run it at Daytona. To do that legally, they had to sell it to the public first. The Boss 429 wasn't born from a marketing department's dream. It was born from a rulebook. The car craft problem. Ford couldn't simply drop the 429 into the Mustang on the regular assembly line. The engine was too wide. The massive cylinder heads physically wouldn't fit between the shock towers. Ford contracted the job to Carcraft, the same Michigan facility that had built the Le Mans-winning GT40s. Each Mustang was partially assembled at the Ford Rouge plant, then shipped to Brighton, Michigan, where the shock towers were cut and relocated. The battery moved to the trunk, and the front suspension completely revised. This wasn't an engine swap, it was surgery. Birth of a legend. Ford officially rated the Boss 429 at 375 horsepower, a number widely considered a lie. The engine featured forged steel internals, 4-bolt main caps, an aluminum intake manifold, a 735 cubic feet per minute Holley carburetor, and a dry deck cooling system borrowed from racing. Independent tests put actual output closer to 500 horsepower. Ford built just 859 examples for 1969, each one a numbered piece of automotive history. The price problem. At nearly $5,000, the Boss 429 was roughly twice the price of a base Mustang, at a time when the average American earned $7,000 a year. For the same money, you could have a fully loaded Mach 1, or stretch to a Corvette. What did that premium buy? A car that idled roughly, required premium fuel, felt stiff in traffic, and had its battery in the trunk. The showroom buyer looking to cruise on Friday night was never the target. The professional racer who needed 500 horsepower in a factory box was. Track dominance. The Boss 429 engine won 26 NASCAR races in 1969 alone. Richard Petty switched to Ford that year specifically to access this motor. At the drag strip, the Boss sprinted to 60 miles per hour in 5.3 seconds. Extraordinary when most muscle cars were running mid-14-second quarter miles. It came mandatory with a close ratio 4-speed top-loader manual and a 3.9 1-to-1 traction lock rear axle. For anyone who understood what they were buying, it was a factory race car with license plates. The perfect irony. Sales dropped sharply for 1970, only 499 units, and Ford killed the program entirely. Just 1,359 Boss 429s were ever made. The same qualities that confused buyers then, the extreme engineering, the uncompromising focus, are exactly what makes it priceless now. The muscle car market rewards obsession, and the Boss 429 is obsession distilled into sheet metal and cast iron. Authentication and investment. Every car can be verified through a Marty report, generated from Ford's original production database. Genuine examples carry the unmistakable marks of Carcraft's work: relocated shock towers, a trunk battery tray, reworked fender stampings. As of early 2025, a Concours condition Boss 429 is worth around $580,000, with excellent examples commanding $412,000. Even fair condition cars fetch over $238,000. The modern Mustang GTD, Ford's most extreme car today, sells for $325,000. A well-preserved 1969 Boss 429 costs more. Let that sink in. Full circle. A car that confused buyers at $4,800 now demands over 100 times that price at auction. A car born from a NASCAR rulebook became the most revered Mustang ever produced. The Boss 429 is proof that building without compromise means building for the future. The next time something seems too extreme or too expensive for its moment, pay attention. You might be looking at tomorrow's legend. Drive safe and watch for automotive history in the making.